Well, the biggest thing for me coming up was always a weight issue. For me, anybody I went to talk to about wanting to be an artist, it was always like, you got to lose weight or you can't wear that gray hair. I used to wear gray hair back in like 2011, 12, 13 before it became popular. So everybody's like, what, this electro pop music, this gray hair, where are you going with this? You need to slim down. I did all that, dropped a whole bunch of weight, and the people who were saying that I need to do that still weren't doing what needed to be done. So I went through some challenges with that, and I stopped in music, got depressed for a couple years, just started working a job, just like, let me just keep a roof over my head. And then honestly, after 3 years of therapy is when I was able to start to put out music videos and come back to my music and do things like this and be Porcelynn the doll.
That's it, that's all. That's it, that's all. Tell me how you feel. That's it, that's all. That's it, that's all. Black excellence at its finest. How that skin glows, she's a true diamond. With the world at her back, she's still smiling. Never let that crown till she stays thriving. That's it, that's all. That's it, that's all. Keep it real. That's it, that's all. That's it, that's all. Is that really it though?
What up, what up, what up, what up? This is Daz It Daz All. I'm your host, Casey Carnage. And today we're doing another artist spotlight. We got to highlight our beautiful black women that's out here doing a thing, making music, doing art, whatever it is. We want to spotlight it. And today we have Porcelynn on the show. Welcome, girl. She hails from Illinois. She's a songwriter. She's a singer. She's a rapper. She's worked with some of the greatest producers, such as Roddy Jerkins, et cetera, et cetera. But I'll let her tell it because I ain't going to tell her story. That's what she's here for. So, Porcelynn,
yes.
Let's just start it off with this. How you doing?
I am better.
You looking good?
Well, thank you.
With your captain hat on? She got a captain hat on, y'all.
I figured for interviews, I should start wearing hats.
Oh, is that the thing? Okay.
Yeah, it's cute. I think I'm going to stick with it, make it a thing.
Okay. You can also make your own, Santee Alley. You can get you a cute one, do your own thing,
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, let's jump right into it.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about you and a little bit about you as an artist as well. Let the, people know. Let's get to know Porcelynn.
Porcelynn is a singer-songwriter, originally from Illinois, spent some teenage years and some of my 20s in Atlanta, so I like to say I'm from both places. I used to say, when I was describing what I was like as an artist, I'm Beyonce and Gaga mixed, but I've evolved from that, but that's really what inspired me was those two sounds and images. So I came together and started making my own music to reflect what I would do with both of what I liked the most about each one. So that really developed in Atlanta. And then I always wanted to live in L.A. Why? Because I grew up watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, 90210, Melrose Place, all the old school 90s shows. And I was like, oh, well, that's where everyone lives.
They knew how to reel us in over here on the west side. I'm a Jersey girl. And I was like, oh, sun, sand, beach, palm trees. And you get here, you walk down Hollywood Boulevard, and it's dirty as fuck.
Right.
But
right.
It is what it is. Okay, so how did you come up with the name Porcelynn?
So a group of friends, we were sitting around. One of my friends was starting a music team. They were called Mullet Rocks. And they were like, all right, everybody's going to be an artist here. If you're going to be here, what do you do? Do you sing? Do you do videography? What's going on? I'm like, well, I sing and I want to be part of it. So I did an audition. I sang Speechless by Beyonce. Mm-hmm. And they were like, all right, you're in. So he started to, shout out to Gerard, one of my best friends. He started to put together shows, and he had an album release party. And then he's like, wait, because Rihanna was super big at that time. And Roshonda is my government name. Mm-hmm. So they're like, that's too close to Rihanna. Let's come up with something else. So they were like, she always looks like a porcelain doll. So that's where I guess it came from. And I just went with it. I'm like, okay.
It's cute.
Because initially cute. I'm like, wait, porcelain's white. But they were like, no, the doll aspect, the makeup and stuff. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, get it right. Get it
so
tight. She was like, wait a minute, hold up.
Let's change the name. Let's change the spelling. And then we made it a porcelain and with two N's.
So when you, so we got the how it came from. So how have you embodied what Porcelynn is?
That's a really good question. Just the fearless nature of what I stand for as a Black person. I'll just keep it there. I'm not going to say all the other things, but I'm a person who is Black. And we have obviously been challenged with so many things. And I'm on I don't know if you noticed the
National Civil Rights Museum.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm on that right now. I've been in this rabbit hole of Dr. Umar, and we're going to come back to the question.
Okay.
So,
I mean, girl, talk
I
your
stand
shit.
for that. Just being fearless enough to go forward and continue, even if you do stop for a long period of time. I didn't focus on music or anything for about 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to take some time for me to actually experience my life and then put it together. So I embody Porcelynn by really living it out. When I wrote Filthy Hollywood, I lived in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a dream of living here, and I had no idea that it was as filthy as it is.
Okay, we just said it.
It's very filthy.
Okay, so what, like, when you decided that you wanted to be an artist, is that something you've always wanted to do?
Oh, yeah.
Like, from, like, a young age? Because for me, like,
Absolutely.
because for me, it was a little different. It was like, I sang everywhere. I was in all the plays. I sang in all the choirs. And because my voice, like, I swear the frequency of my voice can cut through a brick sometimes. So, like, I was in adult choir. I was in the youth choir. I was in all of that. But I didn't say that I wanted to be an artist. It was just something that I wanted to be, good at. And then when I got to be an adult, I said, wait a minute, this is my lane. So has that, like, what has that journey been for you?
It's been since I can remember. If I look back at elementary school, growing up in church, I always sang. There was never really a time where I didn't sing or want to sing. Like, that was it. Elementary school,
singing in
talent
hairbrushes
shows,
in the mirrors.
and definitely church. Definitely church for the most part, because we was there all day on Sundays, morning, noon, and night. So of course you're going to end up singing. And then at school, I was always in the back of the class writing something, singing, rapping, creating parts for my friends to sing. It's like, okay, this your part, this your part, this your part. And I was always so serious, and everybody's kind of like, I had a few friends that got with me, but for the most part, it's like, we're not.
It's just like, we're not
We're
your
not
background.
interested.
We're not your background.
I'm
Okay,
like,
so
oh, okay.
what was the first song you ever wrote?
Oh my God. It was something, I can't remember the words. I just know we were in junior high school, and it was like something about music bumping and pumping. What the
said
heck
bumping
was
and pumping.
it? I wish I had my friends here to tell me. Somebody go, what was the song? I don't know. It was something about Friday nights bumping and pumping. But in my more conscious years of being like an adult, lights, camera, action, that was like when my first time really recording my first song that I wrote.
Okay. So, like, okay, so I would say like, so what was the first song I ever wrote? The first song I think I ever wrote, I was listening to something, and it was just like, because I used to hum a lot. Like, it's just like my pitch is pretty good. Like, I hear something like that, I was just hum a lot. And it was a song called Fly Away, and I have it on, and the thing is, though, I had wrote it when I was in middle school, and then it was in one of my journals one day, and I was looking through my journals, and SoundCloud came about, right? SoundCloud came about. My friend had this beat, and I was like, let me see. It was the worst recording I think I've ever heard. But it was like, fly, oh baby, for my sake. I was okay. So I was like, okay, maybe I could do something. It was like Fly Away, but it was really like Fly Away Roach, like get out of here. Like, you know what I mean? It was about that. You know, I was living through my, that adolescence, your first love. Your first, like, you always lying. It was something like that. You know, you write one of those when you're younger and you don't know nothing about it. You just writing it because you know heard something about it. Okay, so my next question for you is what has been some of your big influences as far as like how your sound? I think you touched base on it earlier about, you know, blending the sounds of Beyonce and Lady Gaga, but like if you had to think of like this person I heard and this is what, you know, who has been your influences?
It's been a lot of them. Rest in peace, Tina Turner.
Oh, my God.
Rest in peace, Luther Vandross. Rest in peace, Whitney Houston.
Oh, my God. You're going to make me cry right now.
There are so many. Aretha Franklin, Nina Simone,
Anybody alive?
Because it's like, look, you want to talk about real inspiration?
Yeah. No, I feel
Look,
you.
Prince, like, not too much.
Not
I'm
too
staring
much.
right at you. Don't you
Girl,
forget.
I cried like a little baby on social media, snot and all, when Tina Turner died. Like that lady, man, her story is so powerful, and just more so like the way and route she went into as a musician. She was like, I want to be a rock star, a black woman rock star, which we have not seen.
It's Tina.
You know what I mean?
Honestly what I would want to do. You know, when I was going that electro pop route, I really I had this song called We Own the Night, which was pretty much a rock song, and it was like everybody's like, okay.
And it's
you know
crazy
how you play
they
it for
don't
your
expect
friend.
that from us. Like
Yeah.
it's like the thing about black people in general. I mean, this is a black lady show.
Period.
But they don't expect stuff like that. They don't expect versatility. Like I literally had somebody say to me, one of the people that I know, I won't gonna air you out, but I was a little offended. They had made a post about needing some vocals for something. And this is somebody I work with all the time. I was like, well, why are you sending this post? Why didn't you text me? He was like, well, the song that I want you on, we're waiting for another part, and this one, might not be for your voice. I was like, first of all, time out. I was like, if you want to choose other people, that's one thing. But to say to an artist that you know for a fact is a versatile singer, like I can sound like a Disney princess, I can sound like a baritone male, like I have all those ranges. So for you to tell me that my voice is what was insulting, and I was just like, so I said to him, I said, look, I get the business. You choose who you want to choose. But like that's not what you say to somebody who you know. You know what I mean? So it's very strange the kind of boxes they put us in about what they want to hear. They say a black woman, we automatically got to be singing R&B. Or if, you skinny and black, you a pop star. So it's nice to know that like, no, we're singing other stuff. Like, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
And like, it was like you were in electro pop for a while. Like, how did you like that realm?
I love it. That's when EDM was big. That's just really where I found myself as an artist because it was so freeing. And whenever people ask that question, I was like, well, what am I supposed to say? Because I'm not technically R&B. I'm not pop. I'm not, definitely not country. But all of those elements are mixed up in there. So I'm just going to be that. And when I was actually discovered, if you will, by one of my investors early on, he didn't know I was black. He was like, is she black? Is she white? What is she? Well, he didn't say is she white. He was like, is she like what? He knew it wasn't black.
He just wanted to know who she was.
And then my friend who introduced me, shout out to Joy, she introduced me to him, and he was like, she can't be black. Nah, not sound like this. It's like, yep. So he was really excited to endorse and get it going because, yeah.
Well, I mean,
It's
that's amazing. Don't put us in boxes.
Be able to do whatever we want to do.
What we want to do, because that's art, that's music, right? And like music is so universal, and you should be able to hear what you sound on your heart or sing what's in your heart, no matter what it is. Because like we got ears, you know what I mean, and those who are fortunate enough to have hearing, you know, we hear so many things, depending on where you live or your experiences. And you like something like I'm terrible. Like people ask me to go into the we'll be driving. It's like, Casey, play the radio. I said, I am not the DJ because I know y'all don't want to hear what I listen to. Like, I will clear my whole room to Dreamgirls, the soundtrack. Right. Or I'll listen to some Journey or so like that. Like, I'm listening to all kind of stuff. So it's like, it is a thing where, that freedom, like you said, that freedom is important, especially in artistic expression. So I feel you on that. But I want to play a little game.
Okay. Sure.
You want to play a game?
This part is always
It's going
so
to call
fun.
What's Your Jam? And you're going to tell me who you prefer.
What's my jam? Okay.
All right. Cardi B or Megan Thee Stallion?
Ooh. Why you put me on the spot?
Because they watching. Hey, Cardi. Hey, Meg.
Hey, ladies. Such a hard choice. I don't know if I have an answer. I mean, they're pretty even to me.
I mean, if you want to say both, say both.
Yeah, I'll go with both.
I would go with both too because I love them both.
I don't really see a difference. I feel like they both hold their own, and they have made a name for themselves. They're very
Right.
successful.
I like them both.
They doing it
Megan
big.
come in. She coming like a straight. She coming hard. I love it. She coming hard. She coming to the track. It's like bam. You like she here. And Cardi, I just like Cardi because she has literally made a name for herself from being who she is. Like, and
Yep.
that's one of the first artists that I feel like has broke through at
Just
just being who
being
she
you.
is,
Yeah.
and everybody
it
loves
should
her.
be that easy.
And it should be that easy. Like, but
Even though it wasn't easy, Cardi, we know it wasn't easy.
Cardi, it wasn't easy, but it's
easier
nice
than
to
what
see.
it was
Right.
maybe 20 years ago
Right.
to break in, or even 10
right,
years.
it's refreshing. Okay,
Mhm.
Flo Milli versus City Girls.
I have a really best close best friend who's from Miami. So I know a city girl inside and out. Before there was a group City Girls, I knew that girl. And
City Girls.
shout out to Gabby. I'm shouting out all my friends.
As you
She's
should.
the one who taught me how to wear a designer, how to fly out the country, how to go first class. Like a Miami girl. Gotta have one on your
Okay,
roster. So
so-
I'm gonna go with City Girls.
Okay.
Doechii is a very, very, very dope artist, and she's very talented. And I
Yes.
won't lie and say I know all about her music, because I don't.
Mm.
I don't know all about City Girls music, but
They fly.
I know a city
they
girl.
Fly. Okay. Maya or Sierra?
Sierra all day.
Sierra. I'm gonna go with Sierra.
Atlanta.
I'm gonna go with Sierra because Sierra be
ATL.
dancing. She be dancing and she be fly. I don't know what she doing for our music now, but like I feel like she's more fashion. I just like want her to get like more ads, like you know what I mean, like because she be coming to some fly stuff, and I'm like, where the music though? Like you know what I mean. But I'm gonna go with Sierra too.
It gets. I'm sure once you get to that point where you've done it for so long.
To, though? That's all. Like we had this argument. I had this argument with a couple of my friends. I'm like, does she really have to put out music? I mean,
I'll
the
tell you
girl
what
is
my
set up.
idea, like dream life was as a child. Okay, I want to be a superstar when I grow up, right? So all of my 20s, I wanted to be just this pop star, okay? And then in my 30s, I wanted to go into being an actress. And then in my 40s, I wanted to go into fashion and like self-help stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's where they're headed. Some of those who have made their fortune from music already, it's like, okay, now we're going to move into...
We're going to move into something else. It's gonna move into, okay. SWV versus Escape.
Who sang I Get So Weak in the Knees I Could Hardly Speak?
SWV.
Okay, so it's SWV.
It's SWV for me.
Because that's the first
Did
one
you
that
see
popped
that
in my
show?
head.
Did you watch the show?
No.
So they got a show out right now. It's a
I gotta
reality
watch
show,
it.
and I be and I'm watching it, and I'm like, don't get me wrong, because the argument was who's going to headline, right? And Escape was like, well, we got more followers because we're more relevant because Candy and Tiny are on reality shows, and SWV was like, we sold more records, and Weak is one of the number one songs in the world. I was like, they got a point because people sing Weak like they've been singing all their lives and can't sing a lick. So I'm gonna go with SWV as well.
SWV.
All right, next one. Danity Kane versus Pussycat Dolls.
I was a Danny DeCane fan. I was not a stan because I don't know their songs, but that I still want to make a music video like that with like a night scene with the city with the kind of wet ground. Show stopping. I love show
First
stopping.
of all, Danity Kane all day. I'm so mad about that. Diddy, you fumbled the bag, and I said it. Come for me if you want to, because Danity Kane. I mean, don't get me wrong. Girl groups don't work. We all know this. They don't work. It's inevitable.
Destiny's Child worked.
No, it didn't. Not really. Not really. If you think about it, no, it didn't.
Oh, because they had to replace members.
No, they had to replace members to appease one member. You know what I mean? It wasn't like so. It's like they don't work, but it is what it is. But Danity Kane was lit. Okay, Missy Elliott versus Lil' Kim.
Missy Elliott,
and only because it's Missy Elliott. Like Lil' Kim, love you to death, but it's Missy Elliott all day. All right, Jill Scott versus Erykah Badu.
I'm not choosing.
I gotta throw some of those in. I can't choose either because Jilly and Erykah, those are my babies.
They're yeah.
Okay, India Arie or Sade?
What?
I love this game.
It's like I'm gonna go with India Arie only just because she's closer to my age. Like I was in high school when she first started to blow up.
Man, I write these verses knowing which ones are going to be able to be answered and not.
Right.
I got to go with both too because Sade is in her own lane. She's created a vibe that like has still not been able.
You can't compare those two.
You can't compare the two. All right, last one. SZA versus her.
Y'all are gonna really like try to take my young cool people card. Cause listen, I'm 38. Okay, no, I don't. I just look like this. But I don't be knowing these people. I don't be knowing these girls' music. I haven't listened to SZA's album. I know everybody's gonna be like, "What? How could you?" I haven't listened to it. And who was the other person? Her. I haven't listened to hers, so it's hard for me to say because I haven't.
Okay. So
Who's
her
your
got
favorite?
that. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with SZA only because she's from Jersey.
I feel like it's SZA's season. I feel like SZA's doing amazing. Right?
I mean, yeah, it's definitely a SZA season, but it's a her season too.
I seen her in the commercials. Her been in the commercials.
But again, they have two different vibes. Okay, well, that's the end of What's Your Jam?
Yeah, can't you tell I don't have a PR rep?
All right, so let's get into. I have a question. What are some challenges that you face being in this industry? And how have you overcome them?
Well, the biggest thing for me coming up was always a weight issue. For me, anybody I went to talk to about wanting to be an artist, it was always like, you got to lose weight or you can't wear that gray hair. I used to wear gray hair back in like 2011, 12, 13 before it became popular. So everybody's like, what, this electro pop music, this gray hair, where are you going with this? You need to slim down. I did all that, dropped a whole bunch of weight, and the people who were saying that I need to do that still weren't doing what needed to be done, like music videos and getting it done.
Like I did my part, do yours.
So I went through some challenges with that, and I stopped in music, got depressed for a couple years, just started working a job, just like, let me just keep a roof over my head. But obviously I've always kept singing and kept going. And then honestly, after 3 years of therapy is when I was able to start to put out music videos and come back to my music and do things like this and be Porcelynn the doll, because it doesn't matter. Like those for me, that was the biggest obstacle for me, and I'm still just now kind of getting over that.
Well, let me ask you this. Like I'm glad that you were vulnerable enough to speak on that, because that is a hot topic about, people body shaming, even like Lizzo. Like, I think Lizzo is an icon in her own right and is becoming probably one of the biggest stars in the world because she stood up and said, no, I'm not going to conform. You're going to love me the way I am. And I'm sure that translate to a lot of women that are being told, hey, you got to look this way. And you really don't. Because guess what? I can look this way, but there are women that look like me and need to be represented as well. So that's like, thank you for that, because people do need to hear that. And, you have to love yourself. And sometimes it is hard and it's okay. Like she said, she went through therapy and she got, get the help that you need. But at the end of the day, know that you are beautiful and you are going to do whatever you want, because you can do whatever you want. And no matter what it is, we're all women at the same time, and we all stand with each other. So I really appreciate you talking about that, because it is a big thing in this music industry. Like people go insane over stuff like that.
Yeah, and do really strange things and die on tables trying to look a certain way. And that's also something that the investor that I had pretty much made like an ultimatum. He was kind of like, you're going to get the surgery, because, and this is again 2012, 2013, so before it became what it is now. He knew it was coming. So it's like, we got to put you in position early. So he's like, when you walk in like this, you're going to get the deal. It's going to be done. And I'm just like, oh. So.
Right.
Yeah.
So big ups to you. Big up to Lizzo. Keep telling the people they need to hear it. They need to hear it. You are beautiful. You are beautiful. You are beautiful.
Thank you, girl.
Okay, well, let's get into this song. Okay, we're gonna play a song. My artist highlights. Like I like to play the song so y'all can hear it too. And sometimes I might get an exclusive here and there. But today we're gonna play. We're gonna play "Paint the Town" by Porcelynn. And before we get into it, tell me a little bit about the song. How did you come up with it? What was the concept behind it? Where were you at? What was your mindset in writing it?
I actually had a girlfriend, my best friend, shout out to Dominique. I'm the godmother to her son. She was having some issues at the time with a boyfriend, and I just really wrote that song after I got off the phone with her. I was just like, you know what? And that's really just how it came out. A lot of my songwriting is like inspired by just Prince is really like
Prince looking at you. Y'all, for all the people that can't see in the studio, Prince is over our shoulder looking at her. And it's like looking into her eyes like
Prince is like, tell him what I said. Tell him what I just said. But yeah, so it was, cheating boyfriend stuff. So that's where the song came from.
So did you write it for her? Or did you write it because it was a correlation of something that happened with you as well?
It wasn't. I honestly, well, of course. You know what I mean? It's always an ex I can pull from energy.
Don't we all?
Always. But she gave me kind of like that fire. And then obviously it's dramatized. That the things, I don't even know what I say in the song. What am I saying in the song?
I don't know, but we got to listen to it.
So this may not be
Paint the Town by Porcelynn.
Extra, extra. Read all about it. Ladies, have you ever been cheated on? Well, don't eat ice cream and be sad. Paint the town with Porcelynn. Do you know me? Hello. What? You know what? I'm not doing this with you. I'm out. I'm painting the town. Hey, jerk off. What the hell you want? Hey, scum rag. Don't call my home. Cause you cheated on me. Time before. Cheated on me. Hey, jerk off. You can kiss my ass. I like to be paid in full, so I'll hit the streets. Bag of super jet. Now you wanna settle down, but no settlement. You said that you love me more than all the words in the book. Now you wanna settle down, but you can kiss my ass. Painting the town, porcelain. Red lights me painting the town, porcelain. Red lights me painting the town, porcelain. Red lights me painting the town, porcelain. Wait, excuse me. Hey, jerk off. I thought you were the one. Hey, douchebag, you lost the classy one. Cause you cheated on me. Time before. Cheated on me. Time. I'ma snatch your check. Straight disrespect. Bitch. I'm pimping now. Painting the town, porcelain. Red lights me painting the town, porcelain. Red lights me painting the town, porcelain. Red lights me painting the town, porcelain. No longer lost in your world, cause baby, I'm a big girl in my world, in my world. No longer lost in your world, cause baby, I'm a big girl in my world, in my world. Painting the town, porcelain. Red lights me painting the town, porcelain. Red lights me painting the town, porcelain. Red lights me painting the town, porcelain. Painting the town, porcelain. Red lights me painting the town, porcelain. Red lights me painting the town, porcelain. Red lights me painting the town, porcelain.
Yes. Again, that was Paint the Town by Porcelynn. It was giving real, like, eclectic electro vibes. Like, I felt like I was, like, in a dark seated, like, room. You know what I mean? Just, like, yelling at him. Was that, like, the vibe it was supposed to give me? Like, I almost kind of felt like it was a little S&M, too. Like, you had him chained up in a box somewhere.
Oh, my goodness. That was pretty dark, wasn't
Right?
it?
That's what, but it was sexy. Like, you had leather boots on. Like, I just imagined
It was
some
all the
leather
way
boots.
up.
And, y'all of you, and y'all gonna see the video, too, because we don't have the video up. But Okay, cool. Well, again, y'all, we got Porcelynn on the show today. Thank you so much for coming.
We in the building.
Please let them know how they find you.
Yes, you can find me on Instagram, Love Porcelynn. That's LUVPORCELYNN. I'm also on YouTube. If you just YouTube Porcelynn, Paint the Town, you'll see my video and it'll pull you right up to my page. TikTok is actually Billionaire Babe, which is my overall business company name.
I hope that you had a great time.
I did.
I
This
had
was
a great
fun.
time with you. And again, guys, if any of y'all want to be a part of this conversation and y'all want to ask her any questions, y'all can shoot it to us too. We'll definitely feed it to her. And she's very friendly. She's very outgoing. She might answer it. She might not, depending on the question. We don't know. But that's nonetheless still good. If you enjoyed this episode, y'all want to hear more artist spotlights, or if there's an artist you do want to see on the show, please please subscribe, please share, do all the things. You can hear us on every podcast station that you're listening to, and check out our YouTube as well. And Daz It Daz All. Pew, 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 pew. That's actually like my favorite sound. Daz It Daz All is written by me, Casey Carnage, and produced by myself and Rick Barrio Dill. Executive producer is Duff Ferguson. Our senior producer is Sabrina Siewert. Associate producer, Bri Coorey. Audio and video engineering and studio facilities provided by S.L.A.P Studios LA, with distribution through our collective for social progress and cultural expression, S.L.A.P the Network. If you have any ideas for a show you want to hear or see, please email us at info@slapthepower.com. And as always, go to dazitdazall.com and sign up there to make sure you will never miss a thing. See you next show.